Um, you see, our politicians, they're like chameleons. I would not say all of them, but most of them. Anybody who has defected from one party to the other is a chameleon. He's only going there because has interest or is supposedly thinking that the grass is greener on the other side. Now, if you're a member of a political party, you must have sworn to their oath that you are their member. If anything goes wrong, you should stay there and rectify it, not to jump ship and enter another political party. Now, the reason why they're saying it may become a one-party state because those people who were in PDP are now in APC. Those people who were in APC went to PDP. There are some politicians who have jumped ship more than 3 times now. I don't want to mention names, but they know themselves. Any political party who knows its onions or its members know their onions, they will not defect. All they have to do is go back and sit down, go back to the drawing board and say, why did we lose this election? And start from there to rebuild themselves to counter that, not jumping ship. Because if they jump ship now, do they really think that the people in the party they're jumping into don't already have a hierarchy? You cannot jump from that party and come here and want to supersede those who are already there. You also have to climb that ladder. And before you climb that, how are you sure that the other party will not take over the government? Because our Nigeria, what you think it is not what it is. You might go to the polls and you find that, okay, the elections have happened and unfortunately you are not able to rig. And our political system is so funny such that Omoriola won his governorship from prison. Can you imagine that? He was in prison when he won his election as governor. So what are you trying to say? You did not come out to ginger your supporters, but they voted you from prison. So if APC now is the ruling party and everybody is jumping to them, the kind of following that Peter Obi garnered during the last elections, it shows that the way Nigeria is going, you don't have to belong to a particular party before you get the following. It is how you convince the populace. And our generation today, Gen Z, they are more likely to listen to people who speak their language than to listen to people who are speaking the old generation language. Even if you give them money, they will take your money, spend it, but they may not even vote for you. And ordinarily, the MBA is the spokesman of the judges or the judiciary, because the judges cannot speak on themselves. The nature of their job makes them recluse. So if there's anything wrong with the judiciary, the NBA speaks on their behalf. And if there's anything wanting about the judiciary, we should be capable of saying the same to the judiciary. And vice versa. It's just that when the judiciary is talking to the NBA, it's in court. Nobody's there to put on the papers that this is what the judge said about this lawyer or that lawyer. But when we want to talk, it's in a public forum where we'll talk and maybe I will pick up on and say, the NBA president definitely has his reasons for making such a sketching statements about the judiciary. And funny enough, some of our lawyers are the ones who actually encourage the impressions people have about the judiciary. You can remember when there was a raid on some judicial officers during President Mohammed Buhari's time. In as much as we would criticize the mode in which the operations were carried out, but they still got evidence to prove that some of these judges, this is what they were doing. So we cannot put a blanket over the judiciary and say that, no, you cannot do that, when we know that some of them are involved in this kind of unwarranted behaviors. So a lot of judges are good, a lot of judges are bad, until you're able to prove that a judge is bad, that's when it's called a bad judge. But we have good judges. Nigeria has not benefited from anything democratic so far. Well, except maybe from Obasanjo and Yar'Adua's period, when we were smelling the democracy by the imposition of the rule of law, especially by Yar'Adua. Rule of law should have been imposed in Nigeria since the 60s when we got independence. About 50 years down the line, that is when we're talking about rule of law, when the whole system has been corrupted and decayed in corruption. Now, unfortunately, Yar'Adua didn't live long enough. Now, the democracy only favors those in politics. And, funnily, before, I used to think that politics was like regular civil service. No. In Nigeria, politics is a career. You follow politics from the beginning till wherever your career cut short. And the way they think are different from what other people think. If you go and meet a politician now, your member of House of Reps representing you, or your senator representing you, and you ask him that you have this problem, the first thing he's going to ask you, which political party do you belong to? He's not thinking of solving your problem. He's thinking on the lines of which party you are in. That is the requirement for him to deal with you. Is that democracy? It's not. The people of Nigeria are still suffering. And there's nothing democratic in this our democratic process right now.